Alright, so sad day coming up when it's sort of the end of football. But hey, got one more game left, man. That's what we're here for. Anyway, I thought I'd come out here and basically talk about hey, who are the players needed in order to make an impact in the Super Bowl? Now, there's a lot of players. Probably offensive line, defensive line, linebacker, running backs, wide receiver, quarterback, cornerback, whatever you want to say. Whoever back there in the back, they got it like that. So I was like, man, can I come up with like 10 people? And of course not. I couldn't. I came up with sort of more. So I was like, a couple of them I sort of tagged together just because I felt like they're both vital, but at the same time, they're not too more than I was like, they're not too much vital than the other one of that opposite end. So, like, for instance, number 10, I was thinking Fred Warner and Bolton. Just because I'm like, okay, these linebackers, both athletic. I was like, they always run the ball. I was like, they always seem to make game-changing plays. I'm like, they're both going to be needed because of the short and intermediate routes that both teams do. Neither team really throws the deep ball. They really throw it, to the sticks or a little bit further out. And I'm like, you got a linebacker that I was like, Bowen can do a little bit more of blitzing to me than Warner does. But I feel like Warner's out there and covers a little bit more than Bolton. But they both can sort of do all of the same thing. But they're both they're both need to be around the ball because the teams are going to run and the teams are going to basically dig and dunk. So that's why I was like, cool. They're going to sort of adjust that pace there. All right, number 9, another one set where I couldn't really figure out was McDuffie and Justice Reed. Just because McDuffie is a good slot corner that can tackle really well, and I was like, they also use him on blitz quite a bit, but also he's going to be matched up on McCaffrey and Debo. And that's also why I had Reed in there, because I'm like, because they have McCaffrey and Debo, and even Kettle to a bit, that you also need somebody also to cover them in that sort of area. And that's why I'm like, okay, cool. Reed comes down a bit, and he covered them in spots. So I'm like, okay, cool. That makes sense. And maybe it's those two. And also, this is my list. It's at the bottom of the list. And the bottom of the list, I'm like, you're going to have some shared duties. And then when we get to the top, it's going to be more singled out. Then it got a little bit difficult again. Because it was like Debo or Ayuk. On one hand, it's like it's Debo. He's the one that seemed like when Purdy is flustered, it's because Debo ain't there. Debo's the one you give it to and just see how far he goes. But McCaffrey can do a lot of that as well too. So they're really similar in spots. That's why I sort of went with Ayuk, because Ayuk has been the guy that has been more the down the field threat. Ayuk has been more the guy that when Purdy is over here having a difficult time, that's sort of where he has gone to in order to do these drives, in order to extend get the down the field like chunk yard and stuff like that. Like when he's on a roll, that's who he's sort of giving it to is Ayuk. And I think that the Chiefs don't mind it if you keep on dinking and dunking and just taking little bits of here and there. But you can take chunk plays, that starts to hit at the morale of everything and starts to, get at them a little bit. So that's why I think like Ayuk is a little bit more important, just a little bit. Then I had Travis Kelce here at 7. And I know what you're thinking. Travis Kelce is Patrick Mahomes' favorite guy and all this other stuff. And I was thinking, I'm like, considering who else is here, the only reason I say that is because I think that Patrick Mahomes, while uses Kelce really, really effectively and basically against the Bills and more importantly against the Ravens, Kelce was really huge and really big. But at some point, I also feel like, somebody's going to take Kelce out, right? But Kelce's still good as a decoy, even if you do. But I think that Patrick Mahomes gives it to so many different grouping of people that Travis Kelce, while can have an impact, it just might not be numbers impact at the same time. I was like, they tried to use Noah Gray a little bit more. Uh, I was like, not that I don't think he's important. I just think that in this game, he just won't be as much as these other people, which has me go to Brock Purdy. I don't think that. I think that Brock Purdy is important. I just think that his other weapons are just as important. And so the conversation around Brock Purdy, but it's not. It's not dissing him. It just has to how everybody takes it. Um, and it's not to say that Sam Darnold came in and I'm over here being like, it's going to be the same. No, that's not. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that I'm like, as long as McCaffrey's still there, Kittle's still there, and Ayuk or Debo, like as long as you're not losing, like if he lost 3 of his dudes, I was like, ain't nothing he could do. But I was like, if he only lost 1 of them, I'm like, they can still figure it out. They'll still figure out how to run the ball. I was like, Jawan Jennings came a couple times and made plays. So I'm like, they got use check and he'll figure out a way. So that's why I'm like, they got weapons. But Purdy is still important on needing to have, like giving the ball to people in a certain spot and having that moxie and basically what we sort of see on him running. So I was like, yes, he's just not high on this list. Don't take it any type of way if you do or whatever. Please don't. Then I was going to say Chandler Jones. And he would be higher, but I was like, they do got Kalafkis as well. That it's not, and I'm not saying that they're the same player. I'm just saying that he got a little more help, you know. But Chandler Jones is able to, you know, play inside. He's able to play outside. He's a disturbance, but he also creates those matchups for Kalafkis to do things. So he is important, and he's vital to that defensive line of being a mismatch problem no matter where he is. It's going to be cool to see where he lines up, like he ever goes on Trent Williams' side at all, to see if that matchup works. Because I'm like, if you're able to get through something on Trent Williams, I was like, you can disrupt that whole offensive line in general. And what? Which brings me to my next one, Nick Bosa. For the same reasons as Chandler Jones, not the same way. They don't move. He doesn't get moved around the line the same way. But without Nick Bosa, what else does that line really do? Like Chase Young is just a guy there. I was like Hargraves and you know Buck. I was like not Buckner, Armstead. I was like, but Bosa's what gets it going. Bosa's the guy that you're afraid of. Bosa what gets the whole thing started. Bosa, if he gets double teamed, everybody else is freed up. That's what he sort of needs. Same thing as Chandler Jones. So I was like, they're important in that type of facet. And then I went with Pacheco because the team is totally different with Pacheco. But not just that, but it's totally different with him as a running back. They've had Clyde Edwards-Helaire in there, and it is not the same. It's not even close to the same. And it's really weird that it's like I get Pacheco's running style, but Edwards-Helaire is not even close to where it's just like, yo, I really feel like he should be a passing threat, really, to be honest. I mean, in college, he was like the dual guy when he was coming out and stuff. But I'm like, him running just doesn't seem to be effective. So I'm like, just restrict him to passing. That's why I'm like, if Pacheco gets hurt, I don't know how to. I was like, they got to really work out stuff on the fly. And it goes to the same thing with the 49ers, McCaffrey. I think that you've seen when they try to get too cute and just have Brock Purdy be like gunslinger and throwing and stuff. And it's like, no, Brock Purdy's not there. That's not the kind of guy he is right now or whatnot. So it's like, but then once they start running the ball and giving more rhythm, giving McCaffrey the ball, dumping it to him, things slow down, things feel better. I was like, you feel the aggressiveness coming from the offense and the line and stuff. It seems like it puts everybody else in their place. I was like, now Debo is an actual weapon in there instead of just like hoping that he does something. So I think Christian McCaffrey is very, very important to the game. And number one is Patrick Mahomes. There's really nothing to talk about. If he goes down, I was like, who is their backup quarterback? Is it Blake Bortles? Either way, whoever the backup is, I don't have confidence in him like that. And that, I was like, I know I had Travis Kelce low, but that was really because of the other player. But I was like, something happened bad at Mahomes. That's the only reason I could believe. Otherwise, Travis Kelce shoot to the top because it's like, yo, you better keep throwing to Travis Kelce. I'd rather you throw to Travis Kelce, get 3 interceptions on Travis Kelce than not throwing to Travis Kelce, whoever the backup is. But Patrick Mahomes is number one. Anyway, do you agree with my list? I was like, probably not. Who you think should be in there? I was like, of course, there's some people that I could have missed. Ward for the 49ers, Snead for the Chiefs, Greenlaw for the Niners, maybe not fully. Trent Williams, I guess you could count him because if he protects Brock Purdy blindside. Kittle, you could have made something for that as well too. So there's plenty of people that could have been in this list. So I was like, maybe it's just my ordering or whatnot. But anyway, that's what I think is important for this Super Bowl and what to win. Anyway, until then, I'm out.